What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to Culture Pop Season 2, Episode 10. I am here with my main man, Dolan, a.k.a. Drew, a.k.a. I Write Comic Books. How are you, senor?
Doing great, man. Yeah, it's been a busy day. Like we mentioned earlier, it's like I'd rather have a busy day than a boring and monotonous day. So thankfully, it's been very good, productive, busy day.
Fair, nice. Good is good. I was laughing at your wave because it reminded me of that Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump.
Yeah, the Forrest Gump. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite gifts of all time too. Aaron is not with us. He is sick. He's been sick for a few days now. So if you guys can go send him some well wishes on the Twitters or wherever you might find him at, because he could definitely use it. So it's gonna be Drew and I kicking it. Well, I started to say solo, but I guess we'll be the dynamic duo tonight. And we are going to be covering some CinemaCon updates. CinemaCon was this past week in Las Vegas. I just happened to be in Las Vegas. It wasn't for CinemaCon, it was for the meetup. Great time, great week. I was Max's passenger princess for pretty much the entire week. So he's the wheels, and I just was kind of like, okay, I'll go wherever you just say. I'll get in the car. But it was a lot of fun. We got to hang out with the Nerdrotic team. I got some good quality time in with X-Ray Girl and Kara, two just lovely people. Created some friendships with Lady Gravemaster. What was that?
I was going to say, yes, they are. I mean, we've met a few of them. We met them in Dallas last year. Great people. And we got to hang out with Mr. Greymaster last year. He was a pretty cool guy.
Yes. Yeah, he was not in Vegas, which was a little sad. But we had some text conversations. And Lady G made the mistake of accidentally texting Max, "I love you so much," before going to bed. And the best was Max didn't see it until the next morning. So he didn't even respond till the next morning. So that was a fun breakfast. But honestly, I know a lot of people were excited to meet Gary and the Geeks and Gamers crew and Nerdrotic team and everything. I was just excited to see a lot of my friends. So, Max, Kara, X-Ray, Nadia, Sassy, Cannoli, Roman. I got to meet Shield Wall, which was freaking amazing. That for me was what was worth it. Like, that was a lot of fun. And I've got a lot of video clips and or pictures of Max, which I will use as blackmail. He's already like sworn death upon me that it cannot make its way onto the internet. So that one might be technical for good, but there's plenty of other ones.
Save it for the dark web. We can put it on the dark web, not the main internet.
I did send y'all in the group chat the one ice cream yum. So that's actually one of my favorites. And whenever I do get monetized, which by the way, if you're watching this stream and you're not subscribed, you should totally subscribe. You should just do it now. Whenever I reach the 500 and I can get
the 2,700 of you who watched the Ed Piscor video, it's like, why not subscribe? I don't get it.
Subscribe. We actually have cool shit that's starting to come out now.
Yes.
No, go give it a subscribe. I have the opposite problem than a lot of people have. A lot of people get their subscribers and are waiting to hit their view hours. I'm well past my view hours. I just need the subscribers. So, like, share, subscribe, do all that. I love you, Joshy. Love you long time. But yeah. No, Vegas was a lot of fun, and we haven't really discussed much of this, but we talked about it with you and Kyle Friday night briefly. We got to have lunch with Kelly Jones, or not lunch, but breakfast. So two different mornings.
Fucking awesome. I'm so jealous of that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that man is not afraid to speak his mind, and he's just open. He's open about discussing the industry, what it's like right now, the problems with it, how they need to fix it. So it was a great breakfast. He does have a DC project coming out in the near future, which I can't talk about, but maybe I'll tell you.
Okay, is it Dead Man related?
Maybe. Can you? I'm not saying anything, Drew. I think there's something wrong with my contact. That I'm yeah, you might be a little hot there, buddy, but that may not be the only character that's in the book.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just gonna throw that out there. But he talked a little bit about that and just kind of what the process is like right now with some of the people at DC. But super cool
I'm
breakfast.
Sure it's been the best experience ever.
Oh yeah, we will have to talk at some point behind the scenes and really share some of the details because it was freaking like that man is not afraid to say how he feels. And I was kind of like, dude, you don't even know who the rest of us are at the table because we haven't even introduced ourselves yet. You're just talking to Gary, and it's just like, bleh. But yeah, no, it was a great time too.
Wow, because you reach a certain age and you just don't give a shit. And so he's got to be in his latter 60s, maybe push. So he's just like at that point, I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, great. Getting to have breakfast with him not once but twice was freaking awesome. And yeah, wow. just a fun time all around. And then we got a small taste of CinemaCon because we went to Caesar's Palace one day to do some shopping. And while there, we saw Rob Liefeld. If you watch or read comicbook.com, we saw BD Brandon Davis, who I've had the pleasure of speaking to in the past and have a decent acquaintance with. But it was fun just to kind of have that brief moment there with each of them. But tonight we are here to talk CinemaCon. So let's kind of get this thing going. Now, Drew, you haven't really kept up with any of the news of anything that's come out, correct?
Correct. When I'm writing or whatever, like this past weekend, I was writing my butt off. So I have some idea of what was told, but not everything.
Gotcha. Well, we're giving some stuff away here on this little like poster page. But yeah, we'll get it. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Slow down there, Buttercup. Yeah, I pulled. Look, there's way too much stuff that was either discussed or announced to cover everything. So I kind of pulled what I thought were the most popular pieces, or at least what's intriguing me the most. And I figured I'd kind of talk about those to a degree. And some of the stuff they talked about, but you didn't really get anything new on top of what we already know from trailers and everything like that. But we do have a pretty big rundown. Before we jump in, we do have a few people in the chat. We're having a slower start tonight than normal, but the chaos will pile in shortly. But we do have Cage and Corey in the house. So when Roman Boomer's on stream, can we blame gummies now? Allegedly, yes. If you know Roman of the Empire, we'll just say he had a fun time in Vegas. We do have Fear Monarch in the house. The real question, Josh, is did you try the oh man. You know what? I'm gonna answer that with a distinct and resounding no. I did not try the ice cream because I don't know what the implications of that would actually mean. And for Max's sake, I'm just gonna say no. Corey was Lady G in Dallas last year. Yes.
Negatives.
Her, yeah.
Wait, no, she wasn't. She wasn't.
Lady
Mr. Great Master was.
He was. She was as well. She was just busy.
Okay.
Like she didn't hang out with us as much. We saw her for a brief second that one night that they moved their dinner to the bar that we were at.
She was. Okay. I completely forgot. I guess I was just that drunk or so. I had no idea.
Yeah. So I will say she got a little upset with her hubby because her hubby said, "Hey, I'm gonna go find the bathroom and pee," and then 45 minutes later, he hadn't shown back up, and it's because he saw us and decided to come have beers with us.
We had a great conversation with that guy. Oh my god, it was awesome.
We did. It was great, but the way she found out where he was, because she was like texting him and he wasn't responding, but I think he had left his phone at the table with them. Quarter Black Garrett had gone to use the bathroom, which was down by the bar that we were at, and then when walking by saw Max and like waved and stuff and went back up, and he's like, hey, so don't get mad, your hubby's fine, but he's with Max and them at the other bar. And she was like, I'm gonna kick his ass. But yeah, she was there last year. She stays very busy because she kind of like keeps everything in motion and going for those events and stuff. Raphael Ponce, what's up, Vatos? What's up, Raphael? We have Tim's Talk in the house. Yo, David. Yo, what's up, Tim? I'm glad your people let you come, man. I'm glad you talked to your sources and showed up. Let's see. Aaron. Oops, sorry. There we go. Aaron Sparrow, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you say hi. Tell him you hope he gets to feeling better, and we will have him back shortly.
We'll see him in Dallas. We're all going to see him in Dallas. So,
oh, dude, I cannot wait for Dallas. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
We also have Zach's in the house. Joshy. There were a lot of kisses in Vegas last week, so I mean.
Oh, fascinating.
Oh, yeah. I may have kissed a girl and I may have liked it. So
what? Wow.
It was Sassy Sasquatch. She practically molested me when she first saw me, and then it was just a week full of kisses from her. So, but I'll take it.
So what? So it wasn't an Elaine from Seinfeld situation where she tried to turn you to the other side and it didn't take.
I mean, there may have been ulterior motives. I don't know about that, okay. But no, it was a fun time. So, if you stay tuned to my Twitter, I'll probably post pictures. I've got pictures and I'll probably put them up. I've already shared some pictures on some other platforms, but those are a little more private platforms. So yeah, stay tuned to Twitter. Anyways, let's get this rocking and rolling for tonight, because I think we've got so Corey. So Corey put, I'm gonna get Josh to eat Chick-fil-A in Dallas and completely turn him. I started to say I ate Chick-fil-A with y'all last year, but I didn't. I had my shake because I was trying to be good. But this year, I doubt that'll be the case. All right, let's get into some of these movies that were discussed and or announced. And first up, the first thing you talked about, The Last Ronin. So Drew, they are making a film of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin. It's Paramount that's behind it. Walter Hamada, who was kind of overseeing the DC films, is the executive producer for it. And it's going to be a live action film that's rated R. Is this something?
Yes, please.
Right?
Yes, please. All I'm going to say is, like, I'm a fan. I'm a traditionalist of the Ninja Turtles. Like, I have the original. I have the hardcovers of the original black and white Ninja Turtles. Those are my turtles. Those are my boys. And the first Ninja Turtles film. That's pretty much the only film I love that they've done. I really enjoy and can rewatch. Yep. And it would be great to have a live action film, tonally like that, if not darker. And I am completely on board with this. And it sounds like, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was maybe a fan film someone made. It was like a live action fan film, like with like Leonardo fighting a bunch of ninjas in the streets.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yep.
If it's akin to something like that, I take my money now. I am completely there.
Yeah, I am super stoked. I think the book is really freaking good. And I have issues with it when it was coming out because of the delays that it had and everything like that bothered me.
Oh yeah.
But the story itself is freaking great. It's brutal, it's dark, it's gritty, and it's one of those things that if you're gonna make a film, it does need to be rated R. And there was a conversation about it being a lower budget. We'll put quotes there because lower budget can mean a number of things. But I liked hearing that because if I hear lower budget, I think practical costumes, not we're going to have a CGI turtle the entire fucking film.
Boom.
So
love it. Take my money now. Right? Yes. We need more practical effects. I want more practical effects.
Yep.
Yes. Just I don't care if it looks the same like the suits from the first Ninja Turtles. I will gladly take that over a CGI like glob fest. It looks like it was cheap.
Yep, agreed. But yeah, I am super stoked. And there's apparently there's a Ninja Turtles video game that's being made right now that looks promising. And it looks like these might come out roughly around the same time when all is said and done. So I don't know. We might have a full
on. You gotta love that.
Yep,
that's awesome. Synergy. I love it.
Yeah, we might have a nice like full on Turtles resurgence kind of hit, and I'm down for it. I will be there opening weekend. Just whoever they need to get a good director, and they need to take it seriously. And
yes, and I think and we both know IDW needs this. I mean, I'm sure IDW has an investment in this. And look, so if anyone watching isn't familiar, IDW holds the publishing rights right now to the Turtles. And let's just say it's between them and Star Trek right now. And let's just say Star Trek isn't doing the job. So they need all the help they can get with the Ninja Turtles. And The Last Ronin was a mega hit. It was a mega hit. And they really need to keep that cash cow going at this point.
Yep. Agreed. We do have some comments coming in. So we do have Tim's talk. This looks dope. Completely agree with you on that one. Dope. Cajun Corey with an R-rated TMNT. I'm interested. Absolutely. Yeah, I am as well.
That's the roots. Love it.
And I think too, like the 90s one did have a little bit of a grit to them, but they were a little humorous. Like they weren't afraid to have fun.
Well, here's the thing with that: they progressively got more funny and less dark, and especially after the first one, where they couldn't even use their weapons anymore. But I love that first film. I still love it, and if they can achieve that tone, if not darker, I am fully on board with it.
I feel like you're going to end up with something darker, but I'm with you. I love that first film. I even think that first film still holds up relatively well today.
Oh, absolutely. Still does. And
it's only like an hour and a half. It's not a long film. Like that is an efficient, like they get to that story.
So you don't need a 3-hour Batman film to tell a compelling story?
You love the Batman and you know it. It's your favorite, Drew. It's your favorite.
Hey, moving on.
Ivan Sanchez, I'm curious to see how this one turns out. I mean, if they get the right people behind the scenes and get the right person writing the script and stay true to the source material, it will be good. So, Zax, I'll watch this. Hey, we can go to the movie theater together, you mook. Fear Monarch, they're already working on a God of War style Last Ronin game. See, there you go.
Ooh, nice.
Hell yeah. I don't play video games.
Yeah, same here. It's like the last game I wanted to play, I haven't had a chance to play it, was RoboCop, because I want to shoot guys in the dick all day in that damn game. But I would gladly play this on top of that.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to shoot guys in the dick all day. Oh, Drew. If you've read Born of Blood, look, that's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Raphael Ponce, do I have to read anything before The Last Ronin, like those IDW hardcovers?
Fuck no.
No. If anything, I would say maybe read the original Mirage stories, just to get a understanding of the tone of those books. But no, absolutely not. Cannoli Sasquatch, man, this book, so Cannoli is kind of like really starting to get his feet wet with some graphic novels and comics, but this is one that he got recently. So
Virgin Blood, nice.
You know what I think it was? I think it was what's his name, B.A. Turner. I think it was that guy that got him turned on to comics, because they did the stream together, and B.A.'s like, yo, read the fucking book. Oh, put the mute button on that Vex girl. But I'm pretty sure he inspired Cannoli to read comics. I mean, that's what I've heard. So
nice.
Fear Monarch IDW hardcovers wouldn't be So just right here, just read those original Mirage issues. Absolutely. And I think you'll be good. Zach, so I've heard Walter Hamada isn't great, but whatever. I mean, he was overseeing the DC films, but I think he was overseeing like horror stuff before that, and I feel like that stuff did well.
Well,
and I don't know if I can I don't know if I can blame the DC stuff on Hamada because that was such a committee of bullshit going on.
It was a cluster.
Yeah,
it's an absolute cluster.
Yeah. Oh, look, Cannoli is confirmed. BA has changed his life. Now he understands. I will make sure we write to him and let him know that. You're gonna have him on the show again soon, then, right? Like if he's changed your life, you're gonna get him back on. Wow. This is an inside joke for anyone that's not in the loop. But yeah, look, this for me was by far the thing that I got the most excited about. I feel like it came out of nowhere. No one expected this. So I am stoked for this to come out. Whenever
I would have been standing up and applauding. I would have been standing up and applauding hearing this.
Yeah, I'm sure there were some people that were.
Yeah, because if you tell me in a theater we are doing The Last Ronin live action, grim and gritty R-rated take on it. Yes, finally, someone has a fucking brain. I love it.
Yeah,
yes.
Look, I would have been the one in the audience being like, "Fuck yeah, sir! Please don't cuss. There's children." Oh, my bad. Shit. Yeah, but we'll go ahead and move on because, like I said, we do have a number of kind of movies to get through and discuss. But this for me was my number one. I'm super excited about it. Something else that Paramount announced that they're doing is their Transformer film. So we've got Transformers 1, which we know is the animated movie, and it's got Chris Hemsworth and
wait, what?
Yeah, it's the animated film where it's like Optimus.
News to me.
Okay,
completely
well,
news to me.
Don't get excited. Don't get excited.
Okay.
The feedback was that it was very family, very hokey, very jokey based on the clips they showed. It looks like it's desperately meant for kids. And they spent a lot of time talking about that and then referenced that the next live action Transformers film would be the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover. And to me, that's where I was like, once again, fuck yeah. So,
yes.
And look, I'll be honest with you. Have the Transformers movies been good? Not really. I'm not the biggest fan. However,
honestly, I'll be so real quick. So I'm just gonna say my favorite moment of the live action films was in the first 10 minutes of Bumblebee. That was it. Mm-hmm. And then before that is Transformers 84 film. I flipping love that damn film, or 86 whenever it came out.
Yeah, I for me, this hype really stems from the comics and what Daniel Warren Johnson is doing. And look, I get it's not going to be the same creative team. But I feel like if they see that they've got a good thing going there and they try to, again, respect it and bring that to the table, we could get something that's really kick-ass and fun. But this I will agree is a toss-up because both the Transformers films and the G.I. Joe films have really left a lot to be desired. So
if I see Michael Bay attached to this, I'm going to be concerned. That's all I got to say. Look, I love Michael Bay. He is a great director. He did a couple of my favorite action films. He did 13 Hours, which I think is one of the greatest action films ever made, but no one talks about.
Fair.
And he worked on. I think he was a producer on The Rock, but the first 45 minutes to an hour of Armageddon I thought was pretty good, but after that, and the first Bad Boys film was good too.
For me, this is more of a I hope situation than a I'm stoked. Yes. Like The Last Ronin, I'm stoked. This, I'm like, okay, you have a chance to do something really good here. Please don't fuck it up.
Please, don't fuck up my childhood.
Yeah. And again, like if they can get a quality director in, let's not make it Michael Bay, Mr. Boom Boom Bay. And approach it with kind of like the same care that they're doing for the comics right now. I think it'll be a win.
Yes, it should.
We have Cannoli here saying, I think the first Transformers movie is the best one, and they go downhill fast after that. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah. No, I love rewatching that 86 film. I've got it on the HD or whatever. It's awesome. I love it.
I think he might be referring to the first one from the mid 2000s.
Oh, I'll have to kindly disagree with you there. But yeah,
I might be wrong. He might correct me, but we'll see. Raphael Ponce, the G.I. Joe movies sucked and the Transformer movies have sucked. Big D. Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Huh? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna disagree with you there. I think with Drew, like I enjoyed it was fine. The Transformers that came out in like 2006, 2007, whenever it was. It may have been later than that. I really don't know. But I thought Bumblebee started off pretty damn good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the best 10 minutes. It's the best 10 minutes we've ever gotten of the Transformers. We got them on Cybertron. We got the Transformers, the Autobots and Decepticons looking like they should in their actual colors. They don't all look like gray globs of shit. I can tell. Mm-hmm. Oh, that is Optimus Prime. Oh, that is Cup. That is RC. I can there's a difference. Holy crap. They figured it out.
Yeah. They figured it out. Tony Rios, what's up, brother? How are you? Welcome. He put Transformers 1 being kid-friendly is fine as long as they steer away from current-day propaganda. Yeah, I agree. I think that the thing is, I don't think people were expecting it to be as kid-friendly as it is. And when they showed the clip, a lot of people said it came across, I think, more of like a Minions type movie because of the hokiness of it.
God.
Than than or like a Despicable Me type movie than a Transformers movie.
So not Transformers. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, look, if it's for young kids and the young kids like it and they want to go watch other Transformers movies and stuff and find it cool,
Okay. But if you think about back to the 84 cartoon, that was for kids. Yeah. But that wasn't this what you just told me about the Transformers 1. It comes across as condescending if I were a kid. That's how it comes across. Talking down to them.
I mean, I will say it depends on how it's written. I think you can have family-friendly stuff that's written well enough that it's not condescending, but just a lot of people were not expecting it to have the tone that it had based on what the clips they showed at CinemaCon. So and we got Roman weighing in. The G.I. Joe films were so bad. I heard you had multiple copies of the Blu-rays, but I won't judge you for it at all. Just a little bit. But oh, okay. Cannoli confirmed. He loved the 80s animated movies, but yes, I'm talking about Michael Bay's first Transformers movie. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it was good, but I'll say it's better than the ones that came after it. So
yeah. That's a Transformer.
Nos, you know what? I'm sorry. I did not. I think we were too entertained by Roman's state that we just didn't even think about it. And we could have taken full advantage of him to show him this wonderful film. It just didn't happen, unfortunately. So
a little segue from that. Little sidebar. The Catfight versus Naughty and Nice story I wrote. The subtitle was 3 Girls, 1 Coat. But just little play on that.
So there's been this running joke with Roman for probably like 6 months, if not longer now, of trying to get him to watch 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Just because we don't want him to record like the scream. We just want him to record himself reacting to it because we think it would be absolute gold. But alas, it hasn't happened yet. Yes, Nas, I know I had one job. I know. I'm sorry. But if you had seen Roman, you would have understood. Like, it was very easy to forget what you're supposed to have done with Roman there. So, yes, Cannoli, we failed. We could have showed Roman 2 Girls, 1 Cup masterpiece, and it didn't happen. I know. I apologize. But everyone's turning on me now. Jesus, Roman, keep in mind that Josh thinks the Disney Marvel streaming shows are good. Do better, Joshy. Some of them are good. Oh God, come on. Yeah, Jesus, this is how this night's gonna go. We have Jamin D in the house. What's up, brother? We also have time scales in the house. Oh Lord, we're gonna avoid that comment. There we go. All right, we're gonna move on. Yeah. So another Paramount film, Edgar Wright is recreating Running Man, starring, oh fuck, now I can't even think of his name. I'm too distracted by getting called out. This guy, the guy from
Thunderguns Jr. Thunderguns Jr.
Yeah, from Top Gun Maverick, and he's in Twisters. Yes. And why the freak can I think of his name? But yeah, I vaguely, do you remember watching Running Man?
Yeah, oh, I loved it. I loved the movie, and I love the book. It's a very good book.
So I've never read the book. I know about the book, but I've never read the book. But vaguely remember the movie, and I remember watching it with my brother.
The movie is so much fun. You rewatch it, Josh. I'm fairly certain it's free to watch on Amazon and various other streaming networks. But it really is a lot of fun. It is what it is. All right.
Yeah.
And what's his name? The guy from The Family Feud, Richard Dawson. He plays the host of The Running Man. He's great in it. He's playing a sleazy scumbag. Yeah, it's a very fun film. And Arnold does a good job in it.
Yeah, I like at first by the way, it's Glenn Powell. Yep. Apologies. Thank you, Zax. When I first heard it, I was like, Running Man, why does that sound familiar? And I'm gonna be honest, I was thinking Rain Man first, and I was like, really? Well, who else is gonna be in it? And then I saw Arnold in the suit, and I was like, oh! And the first thing I thought was like, yeah, you could probably do a pretty good remake of this. It just again, it depends on how much they decide they want to change it.
Yeah, it's like, is it going to be more toward the film, more toward the book? Because like, if you read the ending of the ending of the book is vastly different than what happens in the movie. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm very curious to see what approach Edgar Wright takes with this.
Gotcha. JD Petty, what's up, brother? Welcome. He put, I first learned of The Running Man from an acquaintance saying the Hunger Games ripped it off.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, and he's true because, well, if you think of those Bachman books that Stephen King wrote under that pen name, he did this, which is the same premise, but he also did a book called The Long Walk. The Long Walk he wrote before this, I think in the latter 60s, early 70s, about kids just walking down a strip of road in this post-apocalyptic environment, where it's a kind of like a game, and whoever wins gets the ultimate prize or whatever, and all you got to do is walk. And it's like it all started with Stephen King, really. And Hunger Games and everything just kind of ripped them off.
Gotcha. Roman of the Empire says this is a terrible idea. Terrible. Well, okay.
Well, here's Edgar Wright's a good director. He's a very talented director, and we'll see what approach he brings to it.
And that was kind of my thing too. Is if it weren't Edgar Wright, I might be a little more cautious or suspicious. But because it's him, right?
Yes. If for some hack, I'd be like, oh fuck no. But Edgar Wright, I'm like, okay, he'll bring a unique twist to this. So I'm curious to see what he has.
Exactly. I think for me, that's the saving grace and what actually makes me interested. If I heard Paramount's doing this and they just got some Yahoo to direct it, I'd be like, fuck off. Like, this is going to be awful. But yeah.
Yes.
Nosferatu, Running Man, or Demolition Man, Running Man. Although Demolition Man could be fun to remake, but I think might.
Well, they're supposed to be doing a sequel to that. Apparently, Sly is supposed to be doing a sequel. But what's scary is that how true Demolition Man was, how right Demolition Man was about the future, and just how PC culture became and how sensitive everyone became. It's a pretty terrifying film.
Yeah. Zach's put is Steve Harvey canceled. I don't know. Is Steve Harvey canceled? Why are we asking this? What happened? What's going on?
What happened to Steve Harvey? Not Steve Harvey.
I don't know. Jay. God, I just called you Jay. Drew was not in Vegas. I need to sleep so bad.
Hey, Josh, we're here talking about The Running Man, a nearly 40-year-old film.
Oh man. Yeah, Roman, look, there are no original ideas. Okay, look, I have a bit of an argument towards this. Yes, I'll agree they're doing remakes and readapting and whatever with everything, but at the same time, no one's going to see the movies that are original ideas. Like nobody at all.
Yeah.
So they're out there, they're just not getting funded. So
and we gotta be honest, some remakes have been really good in the past. So we'll see what can happen.
Yeah. And then Zach said Jesse the Body Ventura ruled. I mean, he rules.
He was in both films. Yeah. Jesse was in both Running Man and Demolition Man. So there you go.
Oh, was Steve on the was Steve on the Diddy list? Oh
no.
That sounds bad. The Diddy list.
Oh no.
What happened? I was on the Diddy list. Sheesh. Gotcha.
I'm checking the news now. I don't want to see this.
Yeah. Roman's telling me that my argument is invalid. Okay. Well, sorry, Roman. I will give you my thoughts on Thursday night. How about that? But yeah, so that's there. I again, Edgar Wright for me makes this this could be good. Glenn Powell also. I'm a big fan of Glenn Powell, so I'll take it.
He's a very charismatic actor. So yeah, I can't wait to see what he brings to this.
Yeah. I love how my StreamYard is showing that there are 0 people watching this, but we've got like 12 people commenting at least. Yeah. Interesting. Next up, so we're going to move to DC and discuss one project, but Joker 2 Folia they dropped the trailer for this Tuesday night, and the best was this was before Chris Gore had his film threat meetup, and he was waiting for this trailer, and he's like, "Where's the trailer? I thought it's supposed to drop right now." And we're like, "Oh no, it's 6:30 Pacific time." He's like, "We're gonna be starting the meetup. I'm not even gonna be able to watch the trailer." So I watched it later that night when I got back to the hotel room, and I have thoughts.
So do I.
Okay.
Oh, and real quick, so yeah, I'm checking it out the channel on YouTube, and I don't see any viewers either. So maybe there's something messed up with YouTube.
Possibly.
Not showing stuff. Yeah.
I still see comments coming through, so that makes me feel better.
Yes. Yes. Same here. I will say this looks less Taxi Driver-esque, which is good. Mm-hmm. I'll take that. So and it really, so what was unique? Well, I shouldn't say unique. What was interesting about the first film is how they left it open to the theory that what happened didn't really happen. Like he was really just locked. He was locked away the whole time. Because like if you look at the clock, it's the same time as the very beginning of the film. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Like this is all in his head. But it's looking like all of this did happen. Like the shooting the TV show host and all that. Like this all actually happened. And but we'll see what happens. And Lady Gaga, I mean, she looks good in the film. I mean,
yeah,
she doesn't say much. She sings a couple lines, but it looks interesting. I'll say that.
Yeah. I don't know what I was expecting. I'll put that out there. I can't say, I was expecting a certain thing or a certain tone. I finished the trailer being like, okay, well, what's the point of the movie? Like, what's the plot? Like, what, with the Joker 1, it was kind of this commentary on society and how it can like push them into being insane and craziness and all that. You kind of get to watch it unfold, and then you had the like, oh, but what you were saying, did it happen or did it not really happen? So much of this is his perception and in his head. And yeah, it's I don't know. And then coming into this, I was like, okay, you're gonna pull Lady Gaga in, she's gonna play Harley Quinn, it's gonna be a musical, and I was like, okay, this has to be some type of musical therapy type thing that he's interpreting differently, which could be the case. But it didn't really look that way in the trailer. And then what really bothered me is it doesn't even look like she is a therapist or a psychiatrist. It looks like she's another.
She's locked away too.
Yeah. And again, maybe that is just his perception. Maybe she is the therapist, but he just sees her as another inmate because he sees her for how crazy she truly is. I don't know. I wanted to like this. And I've said before, like for me, the first Joker movie, to me, it's not the Joker, but I think it's a really, really good film. And I'm looking at this going, man, is this necessary? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like you said, necessary. I would say no, it's not necessary. But when your film makes almost $1 billion, it's like, okay, we got to make a sequel.
Yeah, but part of that was
Yeah.
they did it on like a shoestring budget, and now
Yeah,
they're
it was not even $100 million, and
yeah.
it's like that's a good return.
And I think this
Uh,
one's going for like 200 million, right? For the production budget.
which
I was just like,
which
God.
is still conservative in nature, but we'll see what happens. I mean, the sets look very. I love how the sets look. The different game show, like
Yep.
the Tonight Show sets, the skylines going to the city. It all looks very. It looks like almost like a stage play brought to life. That's what it looks like. But we'll see what happens. Maybe that's the theory of the film. Maybe it's going to be them like and doing a stage play in Arkham Asylum, but it's going to be like taken out, like shown like in the real world while they're acting it out in Arkham Asylum. I don't know. I'm theorizing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be there when it comes out. I just what excitement I did have for it has lessened a little bit. Maybe a different trailer will kind of revamp that for me, but we'll see. Let's look at the comments real quick. So we got Roman, sweet mother of God. What's great is I can actually hear Roman's voice kind of going into a peak and cracking saying that. Nosferatu, this looks super gay. I mean, it's a musical. It looks like Jamin D agrees with Nosferatu. And then Roman, the first film was an anomaly. This is a bag of. He put WFT, but I think he meant WTF. So, but yeah. And then JD Purdy says society. Part of the reason that first film did so good is, do you remember the news commentary on the film? Where they're talking about the violence that's in the movie and how it's going to inspire citizens to go out and be violent. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Like it was on like,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's going to inspire the incels to go out. It's the incel call to arms.
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
There's a whole push to have all of this like the movie banned. Like there was a legitimate push, and it was on like World Network News segments, and I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. You guys are reading too much into it. You guys are idiots. And hey, he won the Oscar, so your argument isn't valid.
Yeah. Nosferatu put, I really liked Joker the first time I saw it. I liked it significantly less on repeat viewings. Yeah, I think it's one of those you experience, but it's not necessarily. I don't know. Like there are two scenes to me that stick out, and it's the only thing I'll say three scenes that stick out that I'd care to watch, and it's when he's in the like public restroom by the subway after he's killed those guys, and he just does that dance.
Yes.
There's the scene in his apartment when he kills the two people that come in, like the midget, or no, I think he lets the midget go, but kills the other guy.
Yeah.
And then the comedy show, the late night show. For me, those are the only.
I would say the other great scene is when he's in the woman's apartment. Is when we get the big reveal later on in the film.
Yep.
She's like, "Why are you here?" It's like, oh, great scene. And
yeah. Yeah, agreed. Let's go ahead and move on because we do have quite a few movies to get through. So moving on to Lionsgate. Now, Drew, you're a horror guy.
Yes.
And they're rebooting Blair Witch again. Because for those of you, this is one of those things that it's like, I like the idea of it, and I think you could have a lot of fun with the lore of the Blair Witch. But I think I think you have to step away from what made the first one so good, and the fact that it was this found footage film.
Well, we got to remember, Josh, part of the novelty of it was because we were alive when this happened. We were there. We were in theaters. I was. And it was that these people were actually, because I remember the advertising for this, the marketing was that these were people, they did get lost in the woods. This is their legit found footage. They said that in the marketing stuff. I remember they're promoting it like this was a legit found footage film. And that's one of the reasons why it made so much fucking money. And why their careers never really amounted to much after that. But it was unique and special just for that reason. And the second one was different in its own right. I saw what the director was going for, but it didn't really work, which was unfortunate. It had a chance to make it, but it didn't. the first remake, God, that was when I was not a fan at all.
Yeah, you talking about the first remake? I remember watching it. Like I completely forgot that it existed. And then someone else mentioned like, "Oh, they're rebooting it again." I'm like, "What do you mean rebooting it again?" They're like, "They rebooted it back in like 2015." I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
"Really?" And I start looking it up and I'm like, "Oh shit, I've seen this movie." So yeah, that's how bad it was.
I'll never forget the drones. Yeah, we're flying around drones in the forest. We're gonna check it all out. It's like, oh God. Damn.
Yeah. Look, I'm okay with this, but I fully believe you can't do the found footage. It's not going to work in this day and age. It's just it doesn't work.
And with
That
this,
that was
it looks like a guy and his dog getting lost in the forest.
I mean possibly, we'll see.
I can go with that. There's an idea. It's a guy with his dog going for a walk, and they get lost in the forest, and shit happens. I can absolutely go with that. That sounds different and unique. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, go into the lore, make a movie. Just don't do the found footage thing because I don't think it's gonna. I don't think that's a successful approach. But other than that, I'm open to it. It's Blumhouse that's behind this, so that's definitely hit or miss.
Now it is more so. Yeah, after the Exorcist film. Yeah, it's like their batting average is slowly going down. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe kind of branching out and doing something a little different might help or work. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like they're creating content at this point as opposed to trying to do something well.
Correct. And increasing their budgets. I did notice that. Like
Yes.
their budgets are going up.
Yep. Agreed. Turning to the comments, we do have JD Petty. Speaking of low budget successes that sequels miss the point of. Yeah, completely agree. And then we have Roman continuing to have a conniption in the comments. There are no original ideas. I can't be the only one that actually hears Roman's voice, like reaching those Marge Simpson levels of screaming, being like,
well, I mean, this is going back to the 1930s and 40s. Still, I mean, look, a simple analogy: Batman is not an original idea. Superman is not an original idea. Mm-hmm. These are all derivative characters, just combinations of other facets of fiction, and that's what we got here. Just people cherry picking from different things to make their own thing.
Yeah. Jamin D put they have a better chance of rebooting Paranormal Activity. I actually remember seeing that in the theater.
I like the first two films. The first two Paranormal Activities I thought were pretty good.
Look, and I'm one of those people that I don't like any type of like demon possession, bringing in spirits. Like that shit scares the crap out of me in general, partially because of my background. So yeah, those films for me, I was like, oh heck to the no. Like that, you burn that Ouija board and you throw it in the freaking trash. No, okay, no way. So they have a Blair Witch video game.
I never played it, but I'm not surprised at this point.
I guess I'm not either.
So Josh, speaking of horror films, I did see twice that film, Late Night with the Devil, and that film is awesome. It was great both times. The first time I saw it, I was like, Kyle, you are coming with me to go see this. And Kyle really enjoyed it too. And if anyone in the stream hasn't seen it yet or hasn't heard about it, check out the trailer for Late Night with the Devil. It is fantastic.
Nice. What was the one that Max and Aaron went to go see and we're on?
They saw the first Omen.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So spooky season will be here before we know it, guys. So and then Nosferatu says the best found footage film is Cannibal Holocaust. Have you?
Oh yeah, yes I have. Okay. I love that film. I got a Cannibal Holocaust t-shirt. So hell yeah. It's so Joshy Poo, you've got to look into the making of that film because there is a lot of controversy, drama. We're talking like legal jail time for what happened, and people actually thinking people were actually murdered on the set of the film. But it is a very, very unique backstory at the making of this film. But watching it's a very even by today's standards, is a pretty creepy unsettling film still.
Nice. And Nas is switching gears on us, but he said the funniest horror movie he's seen was the latest Texas Chainsaw, where the old man Leatherface destroys a bunch of TikTokers.
That film, I remember watching that. I was laughing my ass off. I asked Kyle. I asked him, like, Kyle, are you laughing as much as I am with this film? Seriously, the last moments of that film, it ends with our heroine, Stunning and Brave. She's in a self-drive car, and she's with her friend or whatever in the car, and her friend gets killed in the self-drive car, and her friend's like watching like Leatherface. We was playing. She's slowly driving away in the self-drive car, like no, like slowly driving like 5 miles an hour. It's literally hysterical. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a film. It was a not good horror film, but a very funny film.
Nice. Real quick, I do want to say we have Sassy Sasquatch in the house. Hello, Miss Sassy. I'm still feeling the love of molestation on my face. But she said I just got here. Can we start over? Anything for you, Sassy.
Yeah, she Abraham Lincoln. Start the play over. That fat motherfucker's talking the whole time.
Oh my god. That was one of the funniest things I've watched in a while. And what is it? What is the group called?
The whitest kids you know.
Oh, yes. So if you've heard of those or never seen those, go look them up on YouTube, because that was freaking great.
Yeah, it's the true death of Abraham Lincoln. Yes.
The true death. We do have JD Petty. You don't mess with Ouija boards. Yeah, agreed. But then Nosferatu, dude, we need a drunk Ouija board stream. Oh man, look, if you're gonna do it,
they're actually making a Ouija horror film. I don't know if you saw it. They're actually going to be.
Haven't they already done like one or two? Didn't they already do a few?
Probably.
Yeah. That would actually probably be the most realistic new like found footage horror film.
Oh wait. I'm sorry. I'm thinking tarot cards. I'm sorry. This is the same crap.
Oh yeah. I don't know how I mean, I understand Ouija boards and horror. I don't fully understand the tarot cards and horror thing. Like, And Drew, you're getting called out that only Zax may call me Joshy Poo. So.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. Okay, I'll back off.
What does he say in Billy Madison? Oh, so sorry to interrupt. Oh yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We got more Lionsgate. So Highlander, they brought Henry Cavill out on stage. It's full force moving forward. Henry Cavill, being ever so cheeky as he is, made a comment: if you thought my swordplay was good in other projects, you haven't seen anything yet. And then kind of smirked. So, the man knew what he was doing at that point. But I am stoked for this. The only real information that they gave is that someone's gonna need to go check Roman's blood pressure, and like someone contact Mrs. of the Empire.
How he said that, I was just immediately thinking of John Goodman in the Big Lebowski. And toward the end of the film, he's like, "God damn it!"
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm just imagining him ripping down his studio right now. He's like, "We're not recording on Thursday." Look, I'm excited for this. So for me, out of everything we've listed, I'm excited for The Last Ronin. I'm excited for this. I really enjoyed the Highlander film. The sequel, not so much. And then the TV show I liked because they went into a lot of the lore that wasn't in the movies. And it sounds, and Henry Cavill made it sound like they're really pulling the lore into this. So look, it's Chad Stahelski. You're going to have good action. That Henry Cavill's going to do his best to respect the material that we're pulling this from.
The director should realize, Henry should realize, your hero is only as good as your villain. And the Kurgan, if I don't know if anyone on this planet can match or top Clancy Brown as the Kurgan in the first film, because he is just on a whole other level. in that
Yeah.
movie.
I think the only person I could think of that might be able to do it in even remotely a similar way might be someone like Dave Bautista.
Yeah, because he's got to be physically matching Henry
Yeah,
Cavill, if
and
not
he could
bigger.
do Dave Bautista can do menacing really really well. So, but look, that'll be interesting. But if they don't get, he's got to be both physically menacing and then his presence just has to be downright despicable. But um,
Yes.
yeah, look, Zax, I don't for me it's showing 0. Like I don't know what the hell's going on, but I got all you guys commenting it whatever. It's fine. I'm happy you guys are here. That's all that matters to me. Like we're talking about nerd shit that we love. So YouTube can go YouTube. It's fine. Nas, you think this is gonna suck? I
Well, and as far as we know, Henry Cavill is the only casting announcement so far, right?
Yeah, I think as far as I know, he's the only person that's been cast because it was announced that he was tied to it with Chad Stahelski, and then there was nothing for like ever that was said about it to the point that people were like, okay, did this get like canceled? No one's talked about it, and then they finally kind of circled back and like, no, it's happening, and now Henry's getting out there, and so it's coming, but yeah, we'll see. It's been quiet in terms of what's going on, and this is the first actual update that we've gotten, and which is pretty much just expect good sword fights, and we're gonna really lean into the lore of this story. So,
well, hey, I remember years ago when we got Channing Tatum on the stage saying it's going to be Gambit, and yeah, look what happened with that.
Oh man, yep, that was
the days.
I was at that Comic-Con. Sheesh. Yeah.
Yeah, $200 million Gambit film. Yeah, geez.
Yeah. Oh, of course. You know, you may or may not see him in the near future as Gambit. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Jesus, if only.
I mean, he signed a contract. Look, just because he signed a contract doesn't mean it's going to happen, but he signed a contract. So,
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so this is a good question. So Jamie D said, now question. The question is, do you guys want it to be as cheesy as the original, or do you want them to be serious and gritty? I want serious and gritty. Well, and look, here's the deal. There were moments of the original that I thought were actually really good. And I think it's...
sorry, continue, then I'll get to my point.
I was just going to say what makes it cheesy is kind of like the time span and how it was filmed.
And the dialogue. Some of the dialogue was very fucking cheesy in that film.
Yeah.
But what made the first one cool is that, just like with a lot of other 80s classic films like Ghostbusters or Blues Brothers, New York was very much a character. The city, the surrounding, every set was so cool and believable. It felt like they probably were on New York doing guerrilla shoots, probably. And it was actually a legit character. So I think what Highlander will have to do is that whatever settings they're doing, they're going to have to be characters themselves. I mean, the set production of the original Highlander was beautiful, not just in New York, but like in Scotland and in France and World War II. It all looked great. I really hope they keep up that same value. It's not just all green screen shit.
Oh yeah, no, go film on location, please.
Yes.
Look, even when you have backgrounds or locations that are green screen, even when they're done impeccably well, you still notice like something just doesn't feel right, and
yes,
even if you can't pinpoint what it is, you just notice it, and just go film them. Like if you need a green screen, sure. If you're gonna do something specifically stylized like 300, sure. But if you're not doing that, go film on location. Like just do it. I get that you have more, things that you can't control, like the weather and the sun and all that jazz, but we did it for decades. We can do it now.
Add it into the story. I mean, I'm sure it'd be fun. It'd be cool. It'd be like, oh shit, maybe this was a blessing in disguise. It's raining in during this scene.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Zach says they need to resurrect the Fabulous Freebirds for this. Hell yeah! I mean, we better open with a wrestling match in Madison Square Garden. And Jamin D said the soundtrack has to be epic as the original because it was the backbone. Look, to me, that's something that you won't match. That's one of the most iconic soundtracks, and trying to top that would be hard to do. So I wouldn't
still
even
to this day. It's an iconic.
Yeah.
It's an iconic soundtrack.
Yep. And then Roman said the first film was gold. The other two, well, more like the remnants of 2 a.m. Taco Bell. Roman, did you have 2 a.m. Taco Bell the other night? So, but yeah. Oh, and Jamin says this is his most anticipated remake reboot. Yeah, for me, this and Last Ronin right now are like the two things I'm really wanting to get my hands on.
I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, look, for me and my stance, Henry Cavill himself has not let us down. And if anything, after Superman, after The Witcher, I think he's grown so much of a I don't give a fuck anymore in terms of speaking out that he's going to come in and try to do the best thing he can do. And I think Chad Stahelski is going to try to respect and honor Highlander as a brand. So I think it's in good hands. Like I think we can get a solid show or a solid film.
I hope so too. I really hope so because I love the first film a lot.
Hell yeah,
with all its flaws, I love it.
With all of its it's got plenty, but it's still a hell of a lot of fun. We actually if you go to Roman of the Zax, if you can, or Roman if you want to, because you got a wrench. We actually did a discussion on Roman's channel of Highlander. And it was a lot of fun. And then we had Ginger Ninja doing some art while we were discussing it. And then just fucking incredible work. So, good stuff. All right. Another thing, and this was kind of just like thrown out there quietly, and there wasn't a big to-do about it, but Guy Ritchie's got a film coming out called The Grey that's also going to be starring Henry Cavill, and it's going to have Jake Gyllenhaal as well. But it looks like it's going to be kind of like a suspense thriller espionage type thing. Look,
real quick, I'm sorry, I'm immediately going to be confused by this because one, there's already a film called The Grey with Liam Neeson, which is a very, very fucking awesome film. If you haven't seen it, I recommend everyone watch that movie. It takes place. I don't. Have you heard of it, Josh? Have you seen it?
I've heard of it, but I can't remember like the full details about it.
It's in Alaska. This guy's working on oil pipelines, and like he is the guy keeping them safe, like shooting all like the wolves and jackals. And there's a plane crash, and they're trying to make it back to civilization from the plane crash, but they have to fight off wolves. Wolves are coming after them as they're trying to survive. And it's a very heartfelt ending. I'll say that. And there's also The Gray Man, which is a book series, which was turned into a movie with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
So these two mixed together, I'm already going to be confused.
So this is more so it by the sounds of how it was described, it sounds like these guys are more so like mercenaries or hitmen. But they specifically take out rich people that are using their power and influence to do bad things. But I'm sure it's going to lead into them getting caught in a situation and scenario that is bad. But I am 100% on the Guy Ritchie train. Like if Guy Ritchie makes a film, I'm there to see it. I feel like he's the one filmmaker that for me, especially in the past 10 years, has been consistent with delivering just quality work. And like I'm down. They didn't give a lot of information. It was just kind of a throwaway of like, oh, and you're also working on this. So I'm down, and I don't mind Jake Gyllenhaal. He's aight. I'll take it.
He was all right, and then he was good in the New Roadhouse. I mean, the New Roadhouse was okay. It's not great. It wasn't bad. It was good.
Yeah. I didn't watch the New Roadhouse. Though, I'm gonna be honest.
No, it's all right. It's not bad. Of all the people, Josh, I would have thought you'd be the first one in line to watch it. But,
I mean, yeah, I'll probably check it out at some point. But
you got almost a. I think he isn't naked at one point. Conor McGregor walking down the streets of France, or whatever. So,
but yeah, we'll see how this goes. Again, barely any info on this. Jamin D put Guy Ritchie is good in my books so far as fun movies go. Yeah, fun, but he also hasn't he balances his films well. They're gritty, they're dark, they're fun. They're typically a little offbeat, which I kind of like.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I still say Snatch is his finest hour. I will always love Snatch.
I really enjoyed the film that he released last year, The Covenant. I think it was called The Covenant. I thought that was really good, and
Oh,
he's
he
got
did that.
yeah, and then
Interesting.
he's got the show that's on Netflix now, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Um, but it's I think it's the one with the shit. No, I can't think of. I'm wanting to say, hold on, what's it called? Guy Ritchie, Netflix. Google, ladies and gentlemen, The Gentleman. I've heard really good things about The Gentleman, so and that's Guy Ritchie. So we'll see. And it's got Theo James. I like Theo James, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Guess we shall.
Someone said what Roman said. Roadhouse was worse than 2 a.m. Taco Bell evacuate. The new one or the classic 80s Roadhouse?
No, no. The classic 80s Roadhouse, one of the greatest films ever made. No, nothing will ever top it.
I just to piss people off when people talk about Roadhouse and how much they love it. I'm like, yeah, I love when he's like, no one puts baby in the corner.
Did you know Patrick Swayze was like 37, 38 when he did Roadhouse?
No.
Yeah. He was already 40 when he was doing Ghost, which is nuts to think about.
Yeah, he didn't look it.
Yeah, no, he kept in great shape. Good for him. Did I tell you? I think I told you guys that Bill Murray story involving Kelly Lynch in Roadhouse.
Maybe.
So Bill Murray was on Anthony Bourdain's show, like, you know, back in the day when Anthony Bourdain was still alive, traveling the globe, doing different food. He had on Bill Murray with him, and they were both talking about Roadhouse. They both said like, "Oh, it's the greatest film ever made," and Bill Murray said like how he's best friends with Kelly Lynch and her husband, and he went on to say that once a year he will randomly call their house at 2 a.m. and they'll pick up and he'll just say, yeah, you don't know who I am, but I'm watching Roadhouse, and I want you to know your wife, Kelly, she's just really getting it from Patrick Swayze in this scene. It's pretty good.
Oh my God. That's awesome. I would know immediately that's someone just like that I probably know that's just fucking with me. But I think I would find it funny, but I might get pissed off. Who knows? Let's go ahead and keep moving things along real quick. The other Lionsgate film that was announced. This is why I put this here, because I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, so I want to say Margot Robbie is just producing this. She's not starring in it so far as we know. But they're doing a live action Monopoly film. Oh, Roman. And I've had a progression of thoughts. So Margot Robbie did Barbie. It is what it is. It happened. It's out there. People love it. People hate it. Yada yada. And then like a month or so ago, it was announced that she's working on a Sims movie, where she's the executive producer, and may or may not be starring. And I was like, okay. I mean, I guess. Guess you can have that and figure out a story. But now they announced this, and I'm like, what the fuck is the story? Like, what? Like, how do you do this? How do you make Monopoly into a freaking movie? Like,
hey, it worked for Battleship. Remember Battleship and the classic that was?
Yeah, I mean, it sucked, but at least Battleship, I know I'm dealing with ships that are at battle with one another. This, I'm like, is this about rich people getting richer and buying houses and making other people like what?
And maybe going to jail?
Maybe going to jail? Who's gonna play Mr. Monopoly guy? Are we gonna have what's his name? Brian Cox running around with a monocle and a top hat? Like,
who's getting the big shoe? Who's gonna be the thimble? What's going on here?
Who's gonna be the little car? You know, yeah. I don't know. This makes me sad. Like this makes me want to just rage quit everything. And I just
this is where I really hope this is one of those films where, yeah, they do put in some money to produce it, but they just ultimately drop it. They realize, okay, we got nothing here. I just hope this goes nowhere.
Yeah. Well, and look, here's the deal. The only way I could see you even making a story remotely work for both The Sims and this is if you take the same approach that they use for Barbie and you write a script that's about like some type of social commentary, either on capitalism or the patriarchy or however you want to approach it. So it's pretty much going to be the same fucking thing. It's just with a different dress on. Like you put a different coat of paint on it, and went from Barbie to now it's The Sims to now it's Monopoly, but it's the same fucking movie with the same stance and the same jokes. Like I don't know. But based on what she's wanting to produce and do, if I ever heard, oh, Margot Robbie's wanting to produce, I'd be like, I really don't care. Like she's struck out for me at this point. So that could actually be funny. Mr. Burns will appear as Mr. Monopoly's friends. Yeah, that'd be funny. But no, this made me laugh because I thought it was a joke at first, and then I realized it wasn't a joke, and I questioned everything. Moving to Universal. Hey, Nas, here you go. Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. So they showed
another one. We already got one. We got that boat horror film, which was the story of Dracula, Nosferatu, coming to England.
Yeah, the one that came out like last year or so.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That one I wasn't excited about. This right here. Oh, Robert Eggers. I'm 100% on board with. And it looks like it's really kind of trying to play homage to the original Nosferatu and kind of go down. Yeah, like it looks like it's going down that path. It's got shit. God, I'm forgetting people's names. Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
So Dracula isn't a 14-year-old black girl in a wheelchair rolling around?
Nope.
Oh,
nope. Yeah, look, Roman. Okay, even I can't scream about this one. Yeah, I agree.
Fascinating.
I think it's Bill. What's his name? The guy that's in The Crow and the guy that's playing Pennywise. I believe he's playing.
Bill Skateboard.
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård.
Skateboard. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So I think he's playing Nosferatu, but it's got Willem Dafoe, it's got Lily Rose Depp, it's got Nicholas Hoult, like Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Willem Dafoe's in it?
Yeah.
So the guy, so Willem Dafoe, who played Nosferatu in that film, like The Shadow of the Bat, which was like that mockumentary making of with John Malkovich in the early 2000s. Did you ever see that?
No.
Yeah, there was they kind of had how Nosferatu was real. It was Willem Dafoe as Nosferatu in the film, and John Malkovich was the director directing it. And it's like it's a pretty interesting, funny film. And it's like, oh my god, so he's showing up again in another Nosferatu film. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. The way they showed clips from this, and the way people described it, it sounds like it looks fantastic. Like it's got a lot of style and just atmosphere and like character in how it's filmed. And then they had a scene with Willem Dafoe, and pretty much everyone's like, dude, he's just chewing up the scenery. Like it's just Willem Dafoe Dafoeing the fuck out of it, and it's great.
I'll take it.
And so I am completely on board with this. This is in my top 3. It's up there with The Last Ronin. It's probably above Highlander. It might actually be above The Last Ronin. So hopefully. But yeah, Max. Why are we talking about Max Schreck?
Oh, Max Schreck was the actor who played Nosferatu in the original silent film.
Oh,
and, okay. That was we're not talking about the Batman Returns character, but yeah, we're talking about
exactly where I went.
It was the actor who played Nosferatu, and that was the character that Willem Dafoe was playing.
Cool. I'm glad you know where I went, because I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, super stoked for this. Glad we got a clip. I can't wait for it to come out, and I think it actually comes out later this year, so I'm amped. Sticking with Universal, we do have The Wolfman. Okay, so I'm a hit or miss with this.
Same.
It's Blumhouse, which makes me nervous. However, I know, and look, people talk out of their ass all the time, but I know the conversations around this where we want this to be as respectful to the original Universal monsters and bring back that atmosphere and environment and get that kind of feel back in movies again.
I'm calling bullshit on that because they had their chance almost 10 years ago. It probably was actually more than 10 years ago when they did the Benicio del Toro one. They had their chance to really respect the lore of all that and everything, but they didn't. And the special effects guy, he did the American Werewolf in London special effects. He was on board doing that film. Shame on me for forgetting his name right now. I forget what it was. But he was on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about the behind the scenes because when he was still attached to it, just how much of a shit show it was, and how they told him they wanted to do practical effects, but then they wanted to integrate more CGI, and then became more CGI than practical effects, and it just turned into an absolute dumpster fire. So honestly, I would love and hope that they do practical effects for this. This is another one because, in my opinion, the greatest werewolf film ever made was American Werewolf in London. That's the best ever, and nothing has ever topped that special effects wise. And that's a big part of it. The only one that came close to me, in my opinion, that came close was Monster Squad when we saw the werewolf change. I hope they do it right. And Rick Baker, there you go, Rick Baker. Yes, that's his name. A special effects legend. And he pretty much got fired from the set, which is bullshit. But I really, really, truly hope they do. If they're going to do this, they do say what they mean. Do respect the lore and try to stick to practical effects for this. No CGI bullshit. Go practical. I'm tired of CGI transformations.
I will say this image to me, it looks good and it's very clearly practical effects, and I'm down with that. But I'm not gonna hold my breath with this one. Even if it's like schlocky, cheesy horror, but it's practical effects. For me, that has a place in my heart for horror, and I'll accept it. I'm not expecting a masterpiece. I just want it to be fun.
Neither am I. I just want to have fun. I want to have fun. I want blood. I want guts. I want deaths. I want to see a wolfman. I want to see a wolfman being a wolfman.
Yeah,
and we haven't really gotten that, which is unfortunate.
I'm just glad that the last time they said, "Oh, we're taking the Universal monsters and we're gonna like bring them back in the mainstream and make them like awesome," was back when we had the Tom Cruise Mummy and the what's his name, Evans. It's not Chris Evans, but Luke Evans, Dracula, and I was like, this isn't it. Like, this is not it. At least this looks more true to what we know as characters as being. So if Blumhouse can come forward and do that, hey, all the power to you. Thanks for paying homage. But so Roman has to roll out, which makes me kind of sad because we're not going to get any more of this motherfucking shit. Fuck shit. Roman, when he's having Tourette's, like breakdowns and aneurysms in my chats, is great. It's only improved when you see him having him on his streams. So, and just mention Harry Potter.
Is he like the Tourette's guy for those old YouTube videos?
I need to go find a clip from one of the videos where he is just like someone mentioned something about Harry Potter. He has a moment, and in his moment, he's like hitting his mic, he's knocking his camera down. He's got a green screen behind him that like partially falls, and then someone on the stream goes, "Hey Roman, your garage is showing," because he films in his garage. But yeah, love Roman to death. Zach's put, I know you don't like the Blumhouse guy, but I can't remember why. It's not anything specifically that I dislike about him. I just feel like they churn stuff out as fast as possible, as cheap as possible, and don't really focus on quality. Their thing is just like, oh yeah, let's get it out. So it's become a content machine for me that I don't really care for. And Jamin, you're spot on. I should have named this stream Reboots Reloaded. Yeah. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and move on. we're gonna touch on some Marvel stuff. Drew, aren't you excited? Marvel, yeah,
Yay! I'm
yeah,
as
Marvel,
excited as a root canal.
yeah. So Fantastic Four, they showed the logo. It's clearly very 60s. We already kind of knew it was going to take place in the 60s. There's really nothing new here. The only thing that they really mentioned that I was like, huh, is they're filming the entire film in IMAX. Um, so I think from a cinematography standpoint, we might have something good on our hands. But other than that, no news. I'm still not.
I'm not
I don't
sold.
have a lot.
I'm keeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. My bar is so low right now that it honestly it should be higher because it's Fantastic Four. But I honestly, Aaron, our good friend, has said it before. Like I'm like hey, except for Star Wars, I am almost completely ambivalent to Marvel now. Like I just don't care anymore because they've screwed me over as a fan of these properties so much that I don't want to see them butcher my favorite characters. I don't want to see it. It's to produce their own warped perspective on the characters. And I'm sorry, I don't buy Pedro Pascal as the smartest man in the universe. It's not happening.
No. I have some hope with they've got an okay writer. He's been very hit or miss. It's Josh Friedman. Um he's
He's not a Rick
done
and Morty writer, is he?
no, no.
Okay, good.
He did Avatar: The Way of Water, this last Avatar film, and he's working on the upcoming Avatar films. And he
Okay.
did Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. So he was the
Okay.
guy behind that. So for me, that's promising. He wrote the upcoming Planet of the Apes film that's coming out later this year. 2BD, we'll see.
The film no one asked for. It's like, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at that though as like we didn't really ask for the reboot when it happened, and it ended up being pretty damn good. But he didn't write those.
No.
He did Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds, which was fine. It wasn't great.
Oh God.
I didn't think it was that bad. And then he did the Snowpiercer series, which I thought the movie was better, but
the
we'll
TV
see.
show was yeah.
And then I think Matt Shackman's a good director, but there's nothing there that's making me feel like we're in a winning combination.
No,
So.
exactly. That's the point, Josh. When we see this, if Marvel had announced this Fantastic Four like right before or after Infinity War, I'd be as ecstatic as shit. But now it's just like after everything they've done recently in the last five years or so, I'm like I don't care anymore. I really don't even know if I'll see it at this point.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I mean, they're gonna have to prove to audiences and fans that they are taking it seriously and trying to deliver some good stuff. And
they have to earn my money. They have to earn my money to see this. For me to see this.
Yeah,
I'm not just gonna waste it.
They earned the benefit of the doubt for a while, but they've had that for way too long and didn't respect fans and didn't care, and that's why people are apathetic now towards it. Jamin D put, are they still going with that love triangle bullshit story? I don't think so. I think it's pretty safe to say you're not going to see Namor in this.
You mean it's Namor?
Look, I think I'm still the guy that didn't hate that, but
what you mean you love the idea of them drawing the back of a Mexican to depower him?
Okay, I never thought about that. Okay, fine.
I'm not lying. That was actual dialogue in the film. They needed to dry his back.
Yeah, they're gonna dry him out. They're gonna dehydrate him. Yeah, that's fair. I didn't put it in that perspective as quote unquote wet back and getting dehydrated, but I mean, now that you put it there, that's all I can think about. So, and then Mark McGrath had said the Silver Surfer will really shine in IMAX. He's gonna look great. Oh wait, yeah. See, that's the other thing. Which again, I think we might be jumping the gun, but yeah,
we're not sold on it. We are not sold on it. I'm more excited for the Highlander film than this.
Oh, 100%.
It should be the other way around. It should be the other way around.
Yeah.
And it's not. Yeah.
And I think they got perfect casting for Sue Storm, so it makes me mad. But anyways, Mark McGrath with another comment said it's going to be the cinematic equivalent of a very large man defecating into a high-powered fan. So, yep, that sounds about right.
I was gonna equate it to Jeff Daniels' diarrhea scene in Dumb and Dumber, but yeah, same difference.
Yeah. The other Marvel news that we got was Thunderbolts. And the only news we got from this was only in theaters May 5th, 2025, and it's Thunderbolts asterisk. And yes, that is the title. And we're not going to talk about the title until after the movie comes out. So,
oh my God. This movie has been a dumpster fire since the beginning, just like the Captain America movie. Absolute dumpster fire. I fucking love it. It's shit like this that should make you cautious about Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, the fact that they're out there, they should have just kept this quiet. They announced the movie and announced a release date before they'd even started on a script. Like, that's stupid.
Yes.
But yeah, they went so public with it before having anything set or established, and then they kind of teased ideas to try to make people excited, and then they ended up coming back being like, "Oh yeah, we're not actually doing that stuff," and then it turned into like, "Oh yeah, we're kind of like completely changing everything," and oh yeah, what's his name dropped out? He's not Sentry anymore, which I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just a hot mess express. And now it's like, oh, it's Thunderbolts, but not really. We're not going to say the real title. It's going to be Dark Avengers. We're not going to tell you the real title because then it's going to give it away. I'm just like, fuck off. Just okay.
You know what, Josh? You know what would have sold me? All it would have taken was one thing. Seeing Baron Zemo front and center of the team. I would have been sold 100%. Then that's truly the Thunderbolts with him.
Yeah, I mean, look here. This is probably why it has the asterisk there, because he's not going to be in the fucking movie, and they've already had enough people be like, if he's not in this, it's not the Thunderbolts, and we're gonna fucking revolt. And now it's probably like, oh, it's Thunderbolts with an asterisk, because they pretty much pulled the Dark Avengers. Like that's essentially what the lineup is. I mean, not exactly, but it's more in line with the Dark Avengers than it is with the Thunderbolts.
I can't believe they did this. This is so fucking stupid.
Yeah. I don't know.
You might as well have had the meme of a guy going, "Don't know," right underneath it.
Yeah. Mark McGrath. I think they mean only in theater. Just the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Mall of America. Just like Captain America 1990.
I hold on. I've got notes from a friend. I don't think they said anything else about this other than just the whole asterisk aspect, but give me a second just to make sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks like that's pretty much it. Kevin Feige's exact words were, "Yes, you'll notice the asterisk on Thunderbolts. That is the official title of Thunderbolts, and we won't talk more about it until after the movie comes out." That's it. That's what he had. Like, why the fuck even have it here? Because all this is going to do is make people like want to rage quit, not go like, "Oh, what's going on? What's happening? Why would they do this? Oh, I'm intrigued." No, I'm not.
It's like, no, it's like, so here's it's stuff like that you can do when you're on a hit streak. You know, you can do that when you're doing very fucking well. Not when you're on a fucking losing streak. You don't do that.
Yep.
Because right now, look, from my perspective, they are on a losing streak. Outside of X-Men '97, which is animated series, but everything else, this is a losing streak.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Like I completely agree with you there. So, and we're gonna move on to another thing that might actually be more than this, if you can believe it. Oh, hold on. Is Perch in Thunderbolts? Why or why not? There might be a little Pooh Bear running around, so who knows?
Ooh.
And serious question: where's Hercules? Post credits, Love and Thunder, and that's it. So they are working on.
We don't speak of that film. We don't speak of that film.
We don't speak of that film, and there were no talks, and now there are talks to figure out what they want to do with them. But that's about it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Look, Armando. Wow, a team with 4 Captain Americas. How can it possibly fail?
Like, with the same fucking power, the same shit. It's like, what the fuck is the point of this?
Yeah.
What's the goddamn point?
Yeah. Anyways, as I was saying, the next one is also a pretty much a meh. It might be even more of a meh, and it is going to be Captain America: Brave New World.
This is a wet fart.
Yeah, I mean, look, they are rewriting and reshooting the hell out of this. Gosh, probably about a year ago, maybe 8 to 10 months ago, we reported some updates. You had Seth Rollins that was cast as part of the Serpent Society. There are pictures of that. Apparently, that whole Serpent Society plot is completely out of the film now.
So, what about the leaders? Leaders is
yeah, the leader's still there. They showed clips of this, and the feedback was relatively positive. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing, but also I feel like I can't trust people anymore. And I think we've also seen Marvel's kind of taken like the 1 or 2 good scenes that they have in their films lately, made them look good, and then everything else has been absolute shit. But yeah, they showed clips, and look, my problem with this is the same problem I kind of had with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Is it doesn't feel like Sam is the lead in his own movie. Like, it feels like the only way you can make Sam interesting is if you have interesting shit go on around him and just have him react to it. But that doesn't make him interesting. Like, I think Bucky.
I think they know it. And Marvel knows it. Kevin Feige knows it. They all 100%. Realize it. Unfortunately, and they know they wrote themselves into a corner by making it Captain America. And they probably said, "Oh, you know what? This probably wasn't a good idea." And unfortunately, we can't backtrack on this, or else we'll be called racist. So we got to stick with this.
Like, Bucky should have been Cap. But the clip here kind of showed these two, conversing. They address the fact that Harrison Ford has been recast because they comment on his appearance and how it's changed. But it's literally a line like he says something like, "Yeah, I'm still not used to you without that stash." It's something like that.
Yeah, and they did it in Iron Man 2 when Don Cheadle swapped out for Terrence Howard. He said, like, "Hey, I'm here now, deal with it." And it's like, okay, that was kind of like that little throwaway line about that. And it's like, okay, cool. Let's go with this. Yeah, he looks. I mean, he actually has the fucking haircut. I'll go with it. But the one thing I've hated about the Thunderbolt Ross interpretation is that no one has brought the heat that Thunderbolt Ross is supposed to have, and unlike Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott brought the heat that Thunderbolt Ross was supposed to have, and that's what's been missing. There's a reason why he's called fucking Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna get that from Jesus, I'm like grandpa with names tonight. Indiana Jones over here. No. Yeah.
No,
especially after Indiana Jones, I don't have much faith at all. But I mean, the feedback from people that saw the clips were that the chemistry was actually really good between these two. It looks like Ross has ulterior motives. There's scenes of him saying he wants to rebuild the Avengers, but then there's questionable things. It looks like it's putting Sam in jeopardy. There's scenes where it shows Sam and is it Joaquin? Is that the Falcon, the new Falcon, the guy that's going to be Falcon?
Sure, whatever. No one cares.
Yeah. Whatever his name is, Torres. It's Torres. So
other guy.
They have action scenes together, and then they showed a pretty long clip of Isaiah Bradley. So that actor is back, and they kind of like Winter Soldier him, and he attacks like a political press event, and Sam has to fight him. But again, like it looks like the only thing that's going to be interesting is everyone that's around Sam, not Sam himself. And we just covered Captain America: The First Avenger for Marvelous Monday. Which, by the way, if you haven't watched it, go watch Captain America: First Avenger, then go watch our conversation. But we talked so much about how much that movie worked because of Steve and because of Cap as a character, and that's completely like what's missing from Sam Cap is you don't have that inspiration there. Like I feel like I'm watching a normal guy's like, yeah, I guess I can do it, and like that's not inspiring. Yeah,
yeah.
So, yeah.
He doesn't have that selflessness that Steve Rogers has. That's the big difference.
Nope, at all. I mean, and I liked Sam as a character in Winter Soldier. He was all right in Civil War, but he just hadn't been built up enough to take the mantle of Cap. And I think the Bucky story, especially in the MCU, like that story of redemption would naturally people would be able to latch onto that so much more. And it was just a missed opportunity. Hell, even if they just decided to have 2 Caps, like I would have gone with that over just doing this. But
yeah.
But Zach says, is Twin Falcon going to be in this? Yes, he sure as heck is.
And Slay.
Yeah, and Slay. Mark McGrath constant rewrites. Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie aren't even in it anymore.
Anthony Mackie's going to file for Social Security by the time this comes out. Jeez.
I'm telling you. I love that his catchphrase when he's filming and he feels like he does a good scene, he'll yell, "Cut the check," if he thinks he did like a really good take. And he's probably like yelling "cut the check" for other reasons now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wilson is Falcon. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. But yeah, brave new world, ladies and gentlemen. Brave new world.
I just love how with each film you've shown, Josh, like my expectations have just gotten steadily lower. And it's just now I'm at the bottom. I'm just like, I don't give a shit. I do not plan on seeing it. Honestly, I do not plan on seeing this film in theater.
I mean, I'm gonna see it because I'm a glutton for punishment, and I've got this whole FOMO thing of fearing, like, I mean, look, at this point, I'm covering the shit for the show, so why not? But I dove into this. I might as well just keep diving through the shit. Now they did show something that I am looking forward to because I think it's gonna be fun. Other than that, I don't expect much, but it is Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm still looking forward to this.
Yes, me too.
I know people are mad at Marvel. I know they're over Marvel. I get it. I get Deadpool is kind of like one note and a one trick pony. I understand, but I fucking have a good time and I laugh at the movie theater. And hey, you're bringing Hugh Jackman in and he's in the Wolverine costume. Like, hell yeah.
And the mask.
And I mean, did you see the first slide, my intro slide? Like he's up here. Like that's legitimate. It looks great. That's gonna be the freaking cup. Come on,
the 5-year-old in me is excited. The kid in me is excited. I cannot wait to see this.
Yeah, I jizzed my pants, y'all. Like,
okay? And look, Josh, we both know Marvel is going to make a fucking fortune on the action figures of the Hugh Jackman in costume with the mask. A fucking fortune. I guarantee you that was part of the deal for Hugh Jackman to get back. I get a cut of the toy sales and the statue sales. Because whatever Hot Toys and Marvel Legends, they're going to make a fortune off these figures. I guarantee it.
Yeah. So for this, they did show like this 9-minute like trailer type clip. And I've heard it's fantastic. I've heard that it's super crude, that there's a lot of cussing. They kind of start off by showing how the film starts, and like Wade's a car salesman and he's going home to have his birthday party. And he says something like along the terms of like, "Oh, are we having a party?" And the Blind Al's like, did somebody say they want a party or something like that? He's like, hey, cut it out. Okay. They told us that the white sugary powder we cannot discuss. That's Feige's direct order. So knock it off. But there's a part where like it shows a clip and he's like, "Fuck you, Fox." And just like, I don't know. I think it'll be fun. It's gonna break the wall. But apparently, it's gonna once he goes to the TVA, it's gonna show his past, his present, and his future. But his future, based on this, it starts showing clips. Like it's him in place of characters in other films, so it makes no fucking sense. Yeah. So like there's like one of the clips that they show from the past is like him with Cap, and then there's another clip that they show that's supposed to be like the present, but it's him in place of Loki in the jail cell and Thor: The Dark World. Where you're like, what? And then there's one in the future, and this was like a cameo that they just decided they're just going to put out there for CinemaCon to see. But it's Deadpool, and he's dead, and Thor is like pulling a no. And I was like, all right, this is stupid as fuck, but that's what this should be. And that's the problem. Yeah. Like we've gotten too much of this. Yeah, we've gotten too much of this in the other films where it didn't belong, and it fits here. So yeah, I'm down. I heard the action looked really freaking good. And that the scenes they showed with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds were just killer. And again, highly vulgar. And then Kevin Feige tried to be cool by being like, "Oh, I've watched this film, and sorry, excuse my French, but it's fucking awesome." Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's fucking awesome. And why I can say that? Because it's an R-rated film. And I'm like, oh god, here's Dad trying to be cool. Yep. But then he also made the comment, and he's like, there are some films that came out recently that inadvertently made a questionable popcorn box. Well, we're going to do the same thing. We're making a not safe for work popcorn box, but we're doing it intentionally. And I'm like, oh my God, there's no telling. It needs to deliver, because if he's going to say that and it's just a mediocre popcorn box.
Okay, now, I think I did see the boxes. I think they have released the images of them. So I'm not sure if it's true or not.
No, they've had people do like their own mock-ups, but it hasn't shown the actual box. Okay. And they had merch there for people to see, but they weren't allowed to photograph it. But there was different stuff. I'm trying to think of what they said there was. Like the cups were there. Some people went ahead and snuck pictures of the cups, but they had some T-shirts and stuff. And it seems like they're really going to go balls to the wall with the merch, which, again, why not? You're going to have multiple Deadpools. You're going to have multiple Wolverines. Hugh Jackman is one of the bigger names in these superhero movies. People come to these films to see him. Like, take advantage of it. Like, you need everything.
And like you said earlier, he is in the fucking Wolverine costume, in the mask, in action.
Yeah.
I am there just for that.
Yeah.
I'm there just for that.
So, but yeah, I think I think this will be a fun movie. I hope it's fun.
And I hope I know I'm gonna have a good. I know I will have a good time watching this. That's what I know.
Yeah. There we go. It's like one of those, like, I don't even care about the rest of the MCU after this. If I have fun with this, I'm good. So
yeah, it's like honestly, yeah. I'm not even thinking about Captain America. I'm not thinking about Fantastic Four. This is what I'm excited for. The other ones, no, I don't give a shit about.
Yep. Disney had some other stuff that we're not going to cover. They went over Mufasa. Who cares? They talked about, what was it? Is it Inside Out or Inside, or what's the kids like Pixar movie with the different emotions in the head? They proceeded to show the first 35 minutes of that movie. I'm like, dude,
wow.
If I were in that, Disney started off their presentation by being like, I hope you guys are ready. We've got 75 minutes worth of footage that we're going to run through today. And if I were there, I would have been like, fuck yeah. Like they're going balls to the wall. Like they're showing clips. Let's do it. If I would have then been there to sit through 35 minutes of whatever that fucking movie is, I would have been like, oh God. One, I'm pissed you made me sit through that. Two, I'm pissed that you just made me watch the first third of the movie and now I'm not going to be able to finish it. Like, fuck you. I'm not about to go sit in a movie theater to rewatch the first 35 minutes of this. Like, that's not happening.
Nope, not going to do it.
Yeah, craziness all around. We just have a few more. Oh, no, we don't. That's it. That's done. We're done.
That's about it.
Yeah. Other than that, the only other stuff I can remember is the remaking of the Scary Movie franchise. Like,
oh no.
Okay, I thought that was a terrible. Like, I hated but loved those films. I felt like the first two were actually funny but stupid.
Yeah, they were. No, yeah, the first two were actually legitimately funny.
Yeah.
The ones
and then after that,
it's steadily downhill.
Well, it's like they quit making a parody of the horror movies that they were making fun of and just started making like pop cultural references. Like once you start getting Britney Spears dancing, like it's just okay, now you're just stupid.
Whoa. Hey, Kung Fu Panda, what are you doing here?
Jesus Christ. For me, my association with these parody films is that what is deemed as appropriate and acceptable by society, that pendulum is swinging again. Back to more of a based position where you don't have a bunch of I think so, where you don't have a bunch of like pussies complaining about everything. Hell yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, because I would love to see if they made a new scary movie film with the same tone and rhetoric and jokes as the first film, the very first one. I am there because it was relentless. It was hysterical. Honestly, just right now, thinking about the doofy scenes, I am laughing my ass off.
Nobody want to clean my room.
Did you say you just made a poopy? Yeah, it was a good poopy. Wait, what?
The other thing I remember is, hey, Doofy, come here. Smell my fingers. Oh, what is that? And he's like, what does he say? It's your sister or your sister's vagina? I don't know. And then Doofy's like, hey, smell my fingers. And he's like, oh, God, Doofy, what is that? And he goes, my ass.
The other one is like, he's like, hi, Gail. Gail swallows.
All right, I need to go back and rewatch that first one again. But yeah, if they can deliver that, I'm on board.
Yes.
So yeah. But other than that, like it was wicked and it was all this other shit and stuff going on, and I'm like, who gives a fuck? And then the only other thing to come out of it, but I didn't think it was slide worthy, was they have officially announced one cast member of the new Jurassic Park movie. And it's, of course, I'm forgetting this fucking Jonathan Bailey, who is from Bridgerton. And then, you know, ScarJo's in talks. Yeah. I mean, he feels like he's up and coming.
So Thunder Guns isn't coming back? No Thunder Guns?
Thunder Guns?
Chris Pratt.
No, they're doing a whole new group of people, whole new trilogy, whole separate thing. But I think it's Gareth Edwards is the one that's going to be directing. So
didn't he do the first remake, or was that? I think like Colin Trevorrow did the first remake.
You're thinking of Colin Trevorrow.
Okay.
So Gareth Edwards, I feel like, is more so style over substance. He did Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One, which I thought was excellent. But then you didn't like that?
I like the last 45 minutes to an hour of Rogue One.
Oh, okay. I thought it was but to me that's like the best Star Wars on there. But at least modern day. Modern day.
Of all the new the Disney Star Wars films, it is the best one. I will agree with you on that one.
But I mean, this is also the guy that did 2014 Godzilla, which I thought was a slog, that did The Creator, and I was just like, okay, it looks good, but the acting and directing, like the acting wasn't great, the story wasn't great, like so as long as he's just directing, sure, but we'll see. Scarlett Johansson's tied to be the lead, or rumored to be the lead, and I know they're in negotiations with her, but it hasn't been finalized. That would be a pretty decent get. If I were her, I hope they have a script. I'd want to read a script before I signed on. And then Jonathan Bailey's promising, and then they're talking to Dev Patel as well. So at least out of those three, it's all good quality people, but get a good script. So
yes.
Mark McGrath, Jurassic Park, the longest running franchise to only have one decent film. I mean, for me, like I thought the first Jurassic Park was great. I thought Lost World was okay. I thought Jurassic Park 3 sucked. I thought Jurassic World was fun but not great. I liked the whole like monster element of it, that instead of being dinosaur, it felt more like a monster. I thought that was okay. Like I didn't mind that. And I loved a lot of what they did style wise with, what was it, Fallen Kingdom, the second one. I just thought the movie itself sucked. The script
It
sucked.
was
The acting
stupid.
was
It was
terrible.
stupid. Yes, it
Yeah.
was stupid.
But I loved that they kind of stuck with this horror monster element, and the way they filmed it, and at night with lightning, that kind of stuff I appreciated. But and then that last one, Fallen Kingdom, like, what a waste of time. That
I was laughing my ass off in the theater. I
I
remember
wasn't laughing. I
my
was cussing and I was pissed. I was so pissed off. So um yeah, just Mark's like, no, 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 no. Just one. Just one.
ass.
Fine, fine. But it's such a masterpiece, that first one. So
I mean, even to this day, the special effects in that film still
dude,
hold up. It's amazing.
the fact that half the time those dinosaurs were like real life animatronic, people with different aspects, making it move in a certain way, dude, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah, and one of the I every Halloween I watch Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments. They did this, like, they filmed this over 20 years ago, but they have Stan Winston on there quite a bit because Stan Winston did a lot of special effects for a lot of the greatest horror films ever made, and he talks about making Jurassic Park. He says, we did not build fake dinosaurs. He said we built real dinosaurs. And he was very adamant about that. Just talk about all the work and time that took to make the dinosaurs and to make them look realistic and actually move. It's like, I can't begin to imagine that process.
Oh no. I mean, the fact that they've got, like, even the velociraptors, they were the scenes, I think, where they had them walking and like the toes tapping, the claws.
Oh, I love it.
People in, like,
great stuff.
yeah, there's people in like leg suits walking around, and someone else has remote controls for the toes. Even like when they have dinosaurs and it's showing their face, there's people with remote controls controlling the eyes, some controlling the mouth, some controlling the head movement. I'm like, dude, this is wild. And this was early 90s. Like,
yeah, it was made because he was filming it, I think, subsequently alongside Schindler's List. So he was going from directing, spending a day working on Schindler's List, a day working on Jurassic Park. And little fun fact, that was, I think you probably know this, Josh, the reason why he did Jurassic Park was he said, okay, I'll do this for you if you fund Schindler's List. Yeah. And they did. So yeah, it's like, one for me, one for you. There you go.
Yeah.
And I can't begin to imagine that process of like decompressing, shifting tones from Schindler's List to doing Jurassic Park.
I mean, you know what? You probably needed it.
Another fun fact. He I guess he said, like, once a week or so he would call Robin Williams. He set it up where Robin Williams would call him, and they would talk on the phone, and Robin Williams would just crack jokes with him, to help alleviate the tone of the week and everything with him.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. So, but yeah, that is our rundown of CinemaCon, the good, the bad, the ugly. But hey, at least we didn't talk about Wicked. So if there was news that came out of CinemaCon that you're excited about, let me know. There was a lot of horror movie stuff that was referenced, but it's all they were original films, but it wasn't enough to really dig into to get excited about, other than saying, oh, this is coming out. This is what it's about, and it stars Halle Berry. But some of that stuff looks like it could be promising. Oh, Jesus. Mark McGrath. The dinosaurs in Schindler's List were amazing. You're damn right they were. But yeah, if there's something that you thought was exciting from CinemaCon, make sure you go comment it in the comments after we finish the stream. But for now, we're going to wrap things up. So, Drew, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook as Dolan Waddick. You can find me on Instagram as Dolan_Waddick. You can find me on here on Tuesdays. You can find me on Fridays on Max Field Von Priestley's channel, doing the weekly floppy wrap up. And you can find me on Saturdays on Thinking Critical, sometimes on the Aficionados, but doing the best of the week for the comic reviews with Wes.
Oh yeah. And then Drew is also here for Marvelous Monday. So we film that once a month. We debuted this month with Captain America: The First Avenger. Last night we filmed our second episode, which is X-Men First Class. So go watch those movies, then go check out our discussions, because we have some I feel like the Captain America discussion, we had a lot of really good discussions that really went pretty deep just because of how they portrayed the character. We had some fun discussions last night pertaining to comic versions versus how the movie portrayed them. And did it make us mad or did it not? Were we okay with it or were we not?
I felt like our discussion with X-Men First Class was better than Captain America because of just how we look. All I'm gonna say is we didn't all agree on this film, X-Men First Class.
We did not. There were varying opinions about different things. So, but it was fun to get that perspective, and like we all respect each other, so it wasn't like name calling or being like, oh, this is garbage or this is like we backed up why we felt the way we felt, and in some cases we kind of, you know, I don't say change some opinions, but altered some opinions. But I'm having a blast discussing these films and kind of tying it in from all different aspects of, you know, okay, compared to the comics and the source material, is it good and is it faithful? The movie itself, in terms of movie and story structure, is it good? Was the acting good? You know, we've got Nadia on board that's coming in discussing makeup, and because she works in special effects and makeup. So she's giving her take on it. We had a full conversation about Mystique's Mystique's head and hair, among other things. And then, oh, hey, Rebecca Romaine. But yeah, go check that out. I think it's going to be a terrific series. And we still have the videos that I'm doing with Joe Corallo and Eric Breen coming up to wrap up the month of April with Captain America. And we'll do the same thing with the X-Men next month. But good stuff. And was it last week, the week before, we also relaunched our top 5 comics of March. So that with Drew will continue to be there at the beginning of each month. So when we hit May, we'll discuss April's comics and go from there. So a lot of good stuff is coming out. Just stick with us. And then, of course, we are here every Tuesday. You can find me on Twitter at @ByPopped if you want the channel's handle, or if you want my handle, which just tends to be a little more spicy sometimes. You can find me at Joshua L. McDonald. And speak his name and he shall come. Eric Breen, they are? No one told me. Yeah, Breen, we're working. That's the books that we said we got to get for you to read. And then we planned man, let me give you a rundown of trying to plan this stuff. So I partnered with Joe and I was like, hey, we need to find time to film. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And he's like, oh wait, I'm going to Ireland. And I was like, okay. And then I'm like, he's back. We're good. All right, let's find time to film. We're like, okay, let's do it. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to Vegas. Womp womp. So, but yeah, it's coming. It will happen. We will make it happen. But having two encyclopedias worth of knowledge between Eric Breen and Joe Corallo for comics, that's all I can say. But yes, as we said at the beginning of the stream, hey, we're looking to build subscribers. So tonight was a little more free-handed, a little more just open conversation, kind of keep it. I mean, we always kind of keep it loose on here, but it's a little more loose than usual. And if you would like, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. Just, you know, just give it a look. That's all you got to do. So my goal, my goal is to hit 500 subscribers by the summer. So we'll see if we can make it happen. But chat, thank you for being here. Thank you for making this fun. Thanks for, you know, having a good tongue-in-cheek conversation with this, with most of these films that we're not looking forward to, but we're fun to kind of just, you know, dish out on. And as always, we will see you next Tuesday. All right, folks, y'all have a good night, and I will talk to y'all soon. And, you know, don't like go get arrested or anything, because that'd be bad.